Welcome back to the final edition of the Tuesday Rapids in Eyes with Barry Fair. The time is 2 minutes past 10 o'clock here, and unfortunately today my offsider is away sick, but I've got an awesome fellow here. I know him from Botchecast, and it's a pleasure to have him here with me in the studio today. So, this topic, guys, is about respecting other people when they are sick and understanding why people are sick. People get sick because they've been exhausted. It's coming to the end of the year, and they just need to recharge themselves ready for the next day. Here's my offsider to begin the second part of the show today, the second segment.
Thank you, Barry. Yes, unfortunately, this time of year, it can be near the end of the year, and people can be very tired and worn down as well. So that's why, unfortunately, Barry's offsider may or may not be here today because she's unwell.
And we must respect that because on numerous occasions my offsider has been unwell. So if you have a one-on-one person, guys, please be mindful of them when they are not feeling the best, and don't criticize them. Here's my offsider.
Yes, as Barry said, you have to understand that people do get sick in their personal lives as well. You never know what they've been doing. Also, that you have to understand that for Barry's side of things too, if you're a one-on-one carer, you need to make sure you give them plenty of notice so they can find a replacement, like Barry did today with me.
But like I wasn't aware that my offsider was sick until I came into the studio today to do this. But you have to understand, guys, that, like people get sick, they may have a bug or something, or a migraine, or sinuses, anything, but we cannot assume that. Here's my offsider.
No, you have to respect people's privacy, and when they say they're sick, you must always just continue on what you're doing, and hopefully that person gets well soon. And you're always going to have someone support you no matter what.
And don't get upset and say, oh, you should have told me yesterday, because it's no one's fault. It's out of their control. Here's my offsider.
That's right, Bear. I would agree with that. You shouldn't get upset if your one-on-one carer doesn't show up because they're unwell, because sometimes they could be sick early in the morning and they don't obviously want to give it to anyone else, including yourself.
And even if I was sick, I would phone in the night before, or send the manager an email saying that I've been sick the night before, unable to make it. And that's the way it is, guys, because, health does come first and not last. Here's my offsider.
Yes, I would agree with Barry. You've got to make sure you're well and healthy, and your health is the most important thing. So if it means you have to take a day off work, you need to do that for yourself.
And the earlier you ring up the manager and say that you can't cover your shift, the better. And this way, the manager can ring up and find someone for you in place of that person. Now, what would you do, Oscar, if you were sick?
If I was sick the night before, I would either leave an email or a text message to my manager and let them know I'm not feeling very well and most likely I won't be coming in the next day. If I wake up early in the morning and I feel very unwell, I will try and call someone at least to let them know or give them a text as well.
So if it was me, if I was unwell, say, when I got up and I wasn't better, I'd probably ring my taxi driver at 7 o'clock in the morning and tell him not to come and get me because I'm a bit under the weather. And then I would tell the health manager that I would be that I am unwell today. I can't go to work. Here's my offsider.
Yes, you'll have to do all those things because if you don't, the taxi driver will come to your house and think that you're still going to work. And also your manager will need to know that you're not going to work either so they can occupy or grab someone to stay at home to support you for the day.
And remember, be considerate, guys, because you must remember that the houses don't have the resources to put on extra staff if you are not sick. Here's my offsider.
That's right. Unfortunately, it can be hard to find staff in very short notice, so you have to be patient. But I'd assume if you're sick at home, you don't want to be doing too much anyway. You'll probably likely be in bed, or if you're in a chair, you'll probably be just sort of hanging around maybe in your room, watching a movie, so just keeping nice and quiet while you're trying to get better.
And also, be honest with the staff member who you are working with, because be honest, tell them what is really wrong with you. Here's my offsider.
Yes, I agree with that with Barry as well. It's never good to lie about any symptoms. If you are having any problems, just let people know. And if you are feeling unwell or if you're feeling a bit better, just please let that person know so they can notify the manager as well. And hopefully you have a speedy recovery and you can go back to work the next day.
And don't make excuses either. And don't tell absolute lies, because the case manager will probably ring the house and ask where the client is and ask why the client is not in. Here's my offsider.
Yes, you don't want to lie about your symptoms because then there's an underlying problem and the CAS manager will be ringing around the house to make sure you're okay, and if you've been lying, they won't be too impressed with that.
So to close the second part of the show, of our show today, please be honest with the staff that you are working, who you are working with. Tell them what is wrong, okay, and be considerate of your staff too, and understand why they are sick. Here's my offsider to tell you about that.
Yes, I would agree with Barry. You have to be considerate of staff members when you are sick, and also you have to think about everyone else that is involved in your day-to-day life. If you are sick, then you need to notify them as soon as you can.
And don't tell them at 25 past 8 when your cab is about to arrive. If you feel like rubbish when you wake up, please inform the staff as soon as possible. Like if you need to go to the hospital, notify the staff sooner so that they can call an ambulance. Here's my offsider.
Yes, I would agree with that, Barry Fear, as well. If you need to go to hospital, please notify someone as soon as you can so you have the correct correct people to go look at you, like a doctor who can assess you. And then if it's emergency, always call 000, as you know, Barry.
And and what we'd like to say today on the show, if you need to go home early from your day option service, please notify the site manager as soon as you can so that they can arrange a taxi. Here's my offsider.
Yes, if you ever feel unwell at your day program or your one-on-one service, let the person you're supporting know as soon as possible. And if you feel like you cannot carry on and need to go home earlier, please let your manager know, and then they can arrange a taxi service to come pick you up or even a drop-off, depending on your options wherever you are.
So if you are unable to carry on, please let the site manager know. And if you are unwell before you come to work, like we've said, please let the manager know and don't make excuses. Well, it's time for a break now, and we'll come back in 10 minutes or so, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about Christmas and Christmas parties. So, on the next subject, something a bit upbeat and interesting. We always start a bit on the negative side first, but that's what we have to do in those situations. So, thanks everyone for joining us today. Don't go away. This is the final edition of the Tuesday Wrap with my special guest replacement, doing a fine job there. We'll have more after the tea break. This program is a production of Barry Fair and is produced by Barry Fair. Stay tuned, guys, because the show is far from over. We've got plenty more to get through today on the show. We'll even watch a food video too. So we've got plenty more coming up today on the show. But before we leave you for the tea break, if you have any bottle tops, please drop them into us here at St. Tides because we need some bottle tops, whatever you've got, whether it's for cordial bottles, cordial bottles, milk bottles, soft drink bottles, juice bottles, you name it. Anything you can find, and even the clip from the bread bags, leave us a comment down below. So if you have any bottle tops at home or milk bottle tops, please let us know and drop them into us. Well, it's time for a tea break now, and we'll be back with you after the tea break. We've got plenty more coming up, so don't go away. And I forgot to mention at the beginning of each video, grab yourself a cup of tea. If you haven't had your breakfast yet, pop the toast on the coffee and settle back and enjoy your day with us. Because we'd like to hear from you, and let me know what you think of my video. So plenty more coming up today on the show. The time is 17 minutes past 10. It's Tuesday, the 17th of December, Thanks for joining us here today, and my special guest filling in for Alana, who's not feeling well today. And Alana, if you are watching, I hope you get better soon, ready for tomorrow's advances.